Okay, Shalom Akim. As always, Kah Halalim Noah Yahweh Bashim Yahsham Bashim Rahakudash and Double on Instagram on Apostles. This was the part 2 to the video based on the NeuraLink Narrative, the MOTB psychological influence. And MOTB obviously standing for Mark of the Beast. And Yara Tazar, that this video doesn't get taken down because I know certain brothers get their videos taken down when they say Mark of the Beast. But it's probably with channels that have more subscribers, or well, you know, it's just Esau, man, just putting down these videos. But yeah, well, the point is, it's the part 2, and going into the introduction again. Kah Halalim Noah for the new brothers and sisters watching the video whenever this time may be. Kal means all, Halalim means praises, La means two, Yahweh is the name of the Most High in the ancient Hebrew, Yahushua is the name of the Messiah in the ancient Hebrew, the Messiah of Israel in the ancient Hebrew, and Bahashim, Ba means in, Ha means the, and then Shah means name. So through the name of Yahushua, that's how I give praises unto Yahweh. So that's pretty much based on the introduction for any new brothers out there, whenever the time may be that they watch this video. So as you brothers and sisters are seeing, well, yeah, this is pretty much the part 2, and then linking to the point that I made in the previous video about the fact that this was pretty much the last precept that I read, which was about the lying wonders of Esau. So I'll read it again, then, you know, spirit grows from there. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And of course, with Esau's technology, people are going to start, you know, doing this, they're going to start creating new philosophies as well, man. I remember a brother told me during camp, you know, about there being AI gods, man, you know. Esau creating these different philosophies, you know when one becomes too reliant on the technology, they then start to worship it. These times are coming, and worshipping it doesn't mean directly bowing up and down, you know, in the typical movie representation of worship. That's not the only way things can be worshipped, man. Really, it goes down to the amount of attention that you put upon it. Especially if there's an obsessive amount of if there's an obsessive amount of attention upon the certain thing, that's when the regards of worship can then be put upon it, man. That's why, you know, when Israel spends too much time with these idols, you know, you got Ishmael's one and their Islam, you got the Buddhists, you got the Hindus, and all these other vain philosophies of the world. Of course, Jay putting too much time and attention into that, and too much dedication of their spirit into that. Of course, that's what makes the Most High angry, man. And this AI is just going to be another thing that Jake will add on to sin. Because, you know, Jake obviously referenced to Jacob, and Jacob referenced to Israel as a nation. Israel. The thing is, with Israel is not in a state right now where the Most High is happy with, that the Most High is pleased with. So yeah, the point is, you know, with these lying wonders, as I said before in the previous video, Elon Musk did say about them restoring eyesight and what's the thing? Yeah, tetraplegics, man, as it says right here, which is really healing those who have paralysis or weakness in their motor functions, so the ability to move their body, man. Imagine Esau's trying to bring his own miracles right now, man. So again, lying wonders, that's going to deceive people. So imagine the first day, you know, when NeuraLink then puts their thing on humans, or let's say after like a few weeks of, you know, trials and whatnot, but now it's like the norm for well, not even the norm, but yeah, it's the beginning, is the beginning phases of that chip being used in, you know, everyday life, or about to be established to the public as everyday life. Things during that time, they may sell it to pretty much those who are aware of the scriptures and who are not fully persuaded in their minds in the scriptures as well, and the faith in Yahweh and Yahushua, pretty much protected by the Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. In those days, the ones who don't have that protection, their minds could be given to this advertising of the NeuraLink chip, man. You know, this thing right here. I might even click on a video, but yeah, man, Esau's working, man. Esau's working. But you already see videos like this saying most people are literally stupid. Why NeuraLink will be $1 trillion company? Of course, it's a darn flipping mark of the beast, man. This thing's gonna be everywhere. So of course, you know, it says he causeth all. If you go back to that scripture, man. But anyway, that's just, you know, pertaining to the carnal aspect of the mark of the beast, because obviously he that causeth all, you know, just like the way almost everyone has a phone, that's the way life is going to be in that dystopian period of time, which is where there's going to be Jacob's trouble as well happening. And, you know, not just the miracles of Esau that are going to be advertised, but of course in the time to come when Yahweh Hashem Yahshua bestows that spiritual power, that's going to be something far beyond what Esau's created. Far beyond, man. You know, but let me stick to the topic right now before I start going left, right, and center. Yeah, he causeth all, man. Just to reiterate that scripture right there. Because what gave me that idea was, he said, why NeuraLink would be $1 trillion company. Which is obviously, you know, these type of financial based podcasts. Because I know Valuetainment, that's what they produce. But it says here in Revelation 13 verse 16 to 18, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number 666, which is 666, the devil's number, as most would see it as. You know, it all comes back to the scriptures. But the point is the one of the four. That's the one that we're focusing on today. Because, you know, the one on the right hand, which can be any hand really, but of course majority of people, as they write on their right hands, the thing is, it will be in the hand, you know, in terms of paying for goods. And I need to make another video as well on how the chip could be linked into cars as well, because I saw another video, but that's another lesson. But the point is, just like the way the phone, you know, was a booming industry, people are going to see this microchip as well as a booming industry, which is another way of which they're going to try and, how can I say this? You know, tempt people into getting it, man. You know, the mass adoption. I probably need to make another video based on that as well, because there's a book called Spy Chips, of which one of the brothers recommended, man. I'm reading it little by little, but once I probably wrap up the reading, then I need to make a few videos on that too, based on the RFID chip technology. Because that type of thing, man, if you know how deep it goes, how much potential, bad potential it has. You know, some can be surprised, some wouldn't. But of course, we really shouldn't, because, you know, the scriptures have been saying it the whole time. How Esau rolls, man. But yeah, the point is, you know, he said the line of wonders is really, you know, the miracles that Esau's going to be putting out there, man. Trying to restore vision.
By sight, so if somebody's gone completely blind, maybe even just lost the optic nerve, you can actually still directly stimulate the neurons in the visual part of the cortex. So you can give people direct vision to the brain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, of course, that's what Esau's going to say. He can restore back vision, man. My gosh. You want to try and start pushing out them nine wonders, man. The miracles of Esau.
So I think that where does it go? You can actually see glasses, and you can see in different wavelengths. You know, you can actually see in different wavelengths. Okay. Neurons in the visual part of the cortex. So you can give people direct vision to the brain. Mm-hmm. In fact, you could actually, depending upon what cameras you use, you can actually see in different wavelengths.
Okay, so that's another thing. You know, once Jake hears, or, you know, any other heathen hears that, alright, they're gonna be able to see more than they already see, Because right now, you know, we're limited in the spectrum of light, of how much we can see. Because you mentioned it about different wavelengths, which is about like, you know, seeing UV light, microwaves, what else? No, let me actually play.
You know, like Jordy LaForge from like, you know, because like had that like I actually watched like an episode of stuff like Next Generation with special effects compared to what we're used to. Like, you know, not that great, but he's got like the wraparound, you know, glasses, and you can see in different wavelengths, so you can see like ultraviolet, you know, infrared, and that kind of thing. So you can actually do that. You can set up.
Yeah. So Esau's gonna try and make some cool advertising about having like powers or something, you know, superhero stuff. Because you know how, you know, Marvel, DC, you know, the different comics and the superheroes as well. It's really just referring to Israel at the end of the day, man. That spiritual power to come. But of course, Esau pushing it out there. And then, you know, that will also come into his agenda in terms of the mark of the beast, of having the NeuraLink chip, man. Tempting people to get it, man. Because they'll then tell people, okay, you can get some powers, man. You're going to be able to see in not just the usual spectrum of light of which you can perceive things in, but you can see UV light, you can see infrared, man. You can see how much UV light you're getting into your body, which also goes into the chip as well, because you're going to be able to measure different bodily functions. That's the way they're going to advertise it, man. Because, you know, these people always like to track everything, you know, heartbeat and whatnot, sleep rate. You know, everything is all by the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. That's what people have lost in this generation right now, man. That's the knowledge that people have forgotten or do not regard. That it's all, everything that happens to us is all under the will of Yahweh. Whether you're sick or you're healthy, you know, whatever situation you're under, whether it's good or bad, it's all under Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. So anyways, that's the way they're going to sell it, man. That's the way they're going to sell it. And then they were talking about some dystopian future that, I think Zubi, this guy, the YouTuber was talking about. Let's see.
And so the phone is a kind of an extension of ourselves, like computer is. Various applications that we use are already an extension of ourselves. So we are already a cyborg. It's just that the interface is with our eyes and our fingers.
Yeah.
He's
talking about the phone, by the way. You know. But yeah, you know, from one thing to another, you know, from phone to Apple Watches and, you know, sensors. And from the watches to biometrics, from biometrics to the chip. And of course the chip, alongside with other technologies, that's what's gonna come together to then uphold this beast system for the time that it will exist before Yahushua smashes everything and Esau's kingdom falls.
And that interface, especially output, the rate at which we can type words into a phone or a computer, just it's very slow. Our input is much better because with the data rate from vision is, you know, I don't know, many thousands of times, maybe a million times better than the rate at which we can output. So our input is like brain, the reptile brain, it's sometimes called. You know, it's like a sort of basic instincts, and then we've got the cortex, like the higher level thinking, planning, and that kind of thing. The two operate symbiotically, so I haven't yet met anyone who wants to delete their limbic system or delete their cortex. Everyone's quite happy having both. Yeah, they're like, oh, I like it the way it is, you know.
Yeah. So the point that he's making there is that, you know, people get used to it when the time comes. Just like the way people are using their phones right now. You know, going outside without a phone at times may be daunting for certain individuals. So, of course, in that time to come, man, that's when that detachment, you know, from the brothers and Yaharatazar, that stern spirit is upon us in that time. That will just be as pilgrims upon the earth, man. You know, relying 100% on Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Because that's really what it comes down to. It's just a major test of faith in Yahweh Yahushua, specifically for Israel. You know, so we've got to constantly pray for that faith. We've got to constantly keep praying for other brothers and sisters as well. Of course, you know, the brothers out here are the ones